Okay, so chemical equations, they represent the change of reactants to products. Always remember, reactants, they are written on the left hand side, and products, they are always written on the right hand side. Like example, carbon when combines with oxygen, there is formation of carbon dioxide. So this equation represents a particular chemical equation. Here C plus O2, they are reactants, and arrow represents these are changing to this side. So this side is product, these both are reactants. Now one carbon is here also one carbon, two oxygen atoms are here also two oxygen atoms. So this is a balanced chemical equation. If simply it is written carbon plus oxygen forming carbon dioxide, then that equation is known as word equation. Okay. Now many equations are there which occur in suitable conditions, like when nitrogen combines with hydrogen, there is formation of ammonia, NH3. Ammonia is having formula NH3. Now this combination only takes place at a suitable temperature, that is around 450 to 500 degrees Celsius, and pressure is maintained at 200 atmosphere. Now if in a particular equation, here 3 and 2 I had written for balancing it, always remember the equation should be balanced. Why? Because the mass is never destroyed nor it is created by any other means, only the form is changed. Now if temperature is not maintained at this very particular range, the formation of ammonia is not there. So in a given particular equation, it is mandatory to mention all these conditions, otherwise the equation, it doesn't convey complete information. We can't consider that equation to be fully informative. So in order to make it more informative, the conditions such as temperature, pressure, along with one more thing, iron is used here as a catalyst. Iron symbol, it is Fe. So that also is used in this particular on these arrows. And molybdenum is other element that is used as a promoter. So what is catalyst, what is promoter, that also we will learn. A catalyst, what is catalyst? Catalyst is a substance which speeds up the reaction. Like normally if the process is taking place in 10 minutes, if formation of the ammonia is taking place in 10 minutes, so on addition of iron, that will take in 10 seconds. So time consumed will be less and formation of ammonia will be more. Clear? And molybdenum, it is a promoter. What is promoter? Which helps the catalyst. It increases the efficiency of catalyst. So makes catalyst more efficient in the work, in its activity. Okay, so this is first indicating the temperature and pressure and catalyst on the arrow. Then the equation can be more informative if we write some suitable short forms, like when iron combines with HCl, there is formation of iron chloride along with hydrogen. Now iron is a metal, so it is solid in state. HCl, it is a liquid which is formed by dissolving in water, so it is represented by AQ. AQ represents aqueous. FeCl2, that also represents aqueous medium. Aqueous medium means the medium which contains water as a solvent, and hydrogen is a gas, that is represented by an arrow which is pointing upward. So upward means the gas escapes out. It is gaseous in nature, it is gaseous in form. Clear? So this is a second part. Then the equation can be made more informative, like if we write the equations like PbNO3 plus NaCl. So what it will form? It will form NaNO3 plus PbCl2. So this is a precipitate. This is a precipitate. Precipitate. What is precipitate again? Precipitate is a substance which settles down, and rest part is the solution only. Like you might have seen sometimes buttermilk. So buttermilk, when it is left as such for some time, for 1 hour, 2 hours, water is at the top and the lower fatty, not fatty we can say, it's a mixture of many substances that settles down. So that particular is known as precipitate. So the substance which is not mixed, which is separable, that we can call as precipitate, and precipitate always it is indicated with the help of a particular arrow which is pointing downward, and upward arrow it represents for the gaseous product. Similarly, we can make the chemical equation more informative by indicating different colors, like when iron it is dipped in a solution of copper sulfate. So copper sulfate solution earlier it is blue in color, but with the passage of time what happens? There is formation of a green color. So that also indicates a chemical change, and the particular mentioning of colors during a chemical change, that also makes the equation more informative. So these are some points which you have to keep in mind. First of all, always mention the temperature, pressure, then catalyst, promoter, then you have to write upward arrow and downward arrow for gaseous product, and downward arrow for a precipitate, and AQ for aqueous, L for liquid, S for solid, and G for gaseous substance. And also you need to write the color of the different substances which are formed or of the reactants. Clear? Now in the chemical equations which we had written, generally how do the products are formed? How do products are formed? They are formed based on the valency of the atoms. Like hydrogen when combines with oxygen, it forms H2O and not H2O2. Only H2O is formed but not H2O2. Why? Because valency of oxygen it is 2 and valency of hydrogen is 1. So 2 needs to be satisfied by 2 that side also. Like earlier we had done hydrogen 1, oxygen 2. So in order to satisfy the valency, it becomes H2O and not H2O2. So always remember that whenever the molecules or new products are formed, their atoms, they are always joined with the help of their valency. Clear? After that, the next topic is energy changes in a chemical equation. We know that whenever a chemical process occurs, formation of products takes place from reactant. Now formation of products, it either needs energy or it releases energy. Like when carbon is burnt in the presence of oxygen, there is formation of carbon dioxide along with heat is given. Similarly, there are many other reactions, many other processes or examples which need energy for their continuation, like when water is boiled. So boiling of water cannot take place on its own. So for boiling of water, we need to give it energy, we need to give it heat. Although it is a physical process, it's not a chemical process. So many other chemical processes are also there which needs to supplied with heat or with energy for their continuation, like when calcium carbonate is heated, so it forms calcium oxide along with carbon dioxide. So if you are having 100 grams of calcium carbonate, so what will be there? As long as heat is given, it will get converted to these two. But as the heat supply is interrupted or it is stopped, this reaction stops. So it means it requires heat. Okay, so it needs heat. So two different types of reactions are there. One which involves the liberation of heat or which give out heat, and the one which need heat for the propagation, for their continuation. Now why do they need heat, or why there is production of heat, why the chemical equations, chemical processes can't take on their own, why there is a difference in the heat energy with the system and the surrounding? This is so because the atoms, they are held by some forces. In some compounds the forces, they are not very strong, so on supplying of the limited heat, their process continues, and after that process continues on their own. Like burning of coal, this one, burning of coal or carbon, that you start once, that process continues on its own. So that is exothermic in nature, because the carbon or coal, it burns on their own and produces the heat. So exo word here, it refers to out, and therm means heat. Two separate terms are here, exo and therm. So exo means out and therm means heat. So process in which heat is given out or it is evolved, not involved, evolve. So that process is known as exothermic, and the process in which heat is absorbed or taken in, that process is known as endothermic. Many more examples are there, like exothermic processes. It is respiration which take place in our body, in all the living organisms, for breakdown of food. With the breakdown of food, what happens? There is liberation of energy. Similarly, endothermic, it involves the photosynthesis which plants carry out for preparation of their food. Similarly, endothermic, it is the combination of nitrogen with oxygen which takes place in the clouds, in the atmosphere during thunderstorms, and this process only occurs if lightning discharge is there. Otherwise, this process does not occur. So these are some examples of exo as well as endothermic reactions. After that, we have different chemical equations. So different chemical equations, they either involve the change of color, some involve change in state, some involve formation of a gaseous product, and some involve the formation of precipitate. So first of all, change in color. Color change, when it is noticed, like when copper pentahydrate it is heated to a temperature of 260 degrees Celsius. So what happens, earlier copper is blue in color and it has crystals, it is crystalline in nature. When it is heated, what happens, there is formation of copper sulfate and the color changes to white along with water is given. So change in color indicates a chemical equation. Similarly, when copper carbonate is heated, there is formation of copper oxide along with carbon dioxide. So this reaction is, these both are also the examples of endothermic reactions because they need the heat. With no heat, these will not proceed. Clear? So earlier the color is green here, on heating it becomes black in color. Clear? After that we have another example of copper sulfate and iron. So copper sulfate plus iron, the color first of all it is blue, after that it changes to green. So that also indicates a chemical equation. So this is an example of displacement reaction. Displacement means this iron displaces copper and itself it combines here with these sulfate and copper is displaced, substituted. Clear? Another example of chemical reaction or chemical change which involves the formation of a gaseous product, that is when sodium carbonate, it is combined with hydrochloric acid. I am writing here formulas because you had done the formulas in your previous chapter. So sodium carbonate, it is having formula Na2CO3, hydrochloric acid, it is having formula HCl. So when it combines, there is formation of sodium chloride, which is salt in nature, salty in nature, along with there is formation of water, and along with that there is formation of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide here liberates with bubbles, it evolves with bubbles, and the phenomena in which bubbles are formed in the liquid, that process is known as effervescence. Clear? Formation of bubbles of a gas during a chemical reaction, that is process known as effervescence. After that this one is a gaseous. So gaseous I had indicated with the help of upward arrow. This one is aqueous, this one it is also aqueous, this one is also aqueous, and it is liquid, and this is gaseous. Clear? Another example like formation of hydrogen when iron combines with hydrochloric acid. So that also indicates the formation of a gaseous product. And hydrogen, when it is formed, if a matchstick, burning matchstick is brought near the mouth of the test tube, what will be there? There is formation of a pop sound. So it produces a pop sound. So that also is a confirmatory test for hydrogen, that only hydrogen gas is getting produced. Clear? Another example is the precipitation reaction, that also can be coded for the reaction of chemical changes, like when potassium iodide, it combines with lead nitrate. So what happens? This potassium iodide, from potassium iodide, iodide combines with Pb, lead, and the precipitate is yellow, and it settles down, and potassium nitrate remains in the solution and it is colorless. So earlier these all are colorless. This one is also colorless, but this one is yellow and settles at the bottom. That the last one, KNO3, that one is also colorless, and this one also settles down. So this is an example of precipitation reaction. Last one, that is the formation of a solid substance, like when ammonia, which is a gas, and it is brought in contact with another gas which is HCl, there is formation of a solid which is white in color. So this also indicates a chemical equation. So this is all about this chapter, that is language of chemistry, and in this chapter you people have to read it first of all very carefully. After that all the equations, what are the ways to write a chemical equation, how it is written, how the equation is balanced, that you need to start with. Okay, thank you all.